So how do we even begin to talk about what's affordable and what's not when we don't even know, when there's no transparency around what the unit cost of data is? You know, I have similar experiences. Just this week alone of being in Nigeria, I've spent about 5 gigs of data. And that's huge. That's usually what I spend in other places over a month. You know, so I did have a night where I loaded 3 gigs and I woke up and I got an SMS telling me that I had exhausted my data. So we need not only to have affordable internet, but we also need to have regulation that forces the operators to provide transparency.
I mean, I'm in the medical field. I know not so much about ICT apart from being an end user. So how can I contribute in the little way is to keep talking about it, and till those, I mean, the least I can do is to talk till those who can do things about it, like Monica, you know, Onica, sorry, was making brilliant statement, and I could do nothing but agree, but ordinarily they are not things I've given much thought to because it's not in my field. But I could keep talking about the problem, and hopefully the people who can bring the solution can hear me, and you know, maybe we can motivate them to do that. And also in the nearest future, I believe I would have enough capital and enough zeal to invest into you know, building the internet connectivity in Nigeria at the very least.
Yes, certainly. There's a lot that citizens can do. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, business is there to make profit. We are there to access the platform, and government is there to regulate, both for business viability as well as for consumer protection. What we need to also do simultaneously is to improve the end user aspects of this challenge, and that is by contributing to making sure that there is relevant content on the internet. We can't continue to tell our grandmothers and everyone that they need to be online when the content online is not relevant for them. So from a citizen and end user and consumer perspective, it's really important for us to begin to think about what we are doing and how we are creating relevant content that makes a compelling case for everyone to get online. And that also includes looking at language, right? You know, we have an incredible opportunity as Africans now to actually continue to develop our language. You know, how are we preserving our language to make sure that the millennials, the generations beyond the millennials, have access to content that is also in our language, is not just in English, because that's what's going to bring multi-generational, make the platform be more multi-generational, so our grandmothers can be on there as well as our children.
We must be sure that the rural community also have access to see content being put on the internet. So it doesn't end up being you creating your content and being seen by yourself. I am very sure once content provider discovered that there are a lot of people, the rural community have access to internet and their community base is wider, it means they can chunk content and leverage on the availability of internet, and also accessibility of internet from with the rural community, and that could be a plus numbers to what they can reach within the city. So it goes back to access. If the rural community have access and it's very visible that, okay, if I create content and I put it on the internet, I can get massive audience from the rural community, it will encourage me to create more content. But if the audience is limited, it will probably be hard to get local content on the internet. I'm hoping that the government can take internet connection seriously. And I don't know if it's going to come in form of policy to make internet accessibility more wider. There are a lot of things that you can do with internet. The world is going digital now. So the advent of requests for like digital marketing is so big. And that is an untapped job spot. So for instance, I studied accounting and job is not coming forth. There is always a small business in every community looking out for spots to reach more clients, more customers, out to them and tell them, you know what, your business online, and using my own experience and my knowledge about digital skills. And in that process, you're solving a problem by creating a solution. So there's a lot of opportunity that can come through if people have easy access to internet, and when it's very affordable as well.
So that's really important, but also digital literacy. How do we as individuals take responsibility for increasing each other's digital literacy? So teaching one another at home to make sure that we're all competent around this. Civil society can play a huge role in this, in terms of offering courses for people to be able to learn how to be online, but not just only learning how to be online also, right? How do we keep women safe online? Because we know that women are reluctant to get online, one, because of cost, but also because they get harassed when they're online. So how do we become that community that ensures that the internet is not only relevant, but also a safe space for women and children and everyone who's in that space? I always say that I err more when in dealing with my children. I am more or less, I don't want to censor them from getting online. I would rather teach them how to empower them so that they know how to self-govern when they're online. And I think that's kind of the mentality we need to have going forward to really work around, contributing to making sure that the internet also has content that's relevant. The more people get online because of relevant content, then the more users we have, and we are hoping that that also makes the case for driving the costs down too.